These machines are already set up for Sunday's Steelers game, which we know there are going to be a lot of bets on. Folks can place those bets right over here. Then they'll walk over to these comfy chairs that are complete with outlets and USB ports. They can watch several games of any kind on these big screen TVs. As you can see, Freeport Road is impassable right now. It looks like a river. Cars are not allowed to drive through this, and police are stationed on either ends of the road telling people not to come any further because this water is pretty deep. As you can see behind me over there, it has reached over to the bus shelter. Well, David, things look different from Friday. That's the last time I was out here. For one, that massive tree that slid down this hill, and many of the others have been chopped down. But this huge pile of earth is still here, and Reese Run Road is still closed. Just moments before we went live, a huge crowd of people ran up this street. It's Fern Street, and there was a lot of shouting, and we saw somebody get put into a police car. We do not know if that is a suspect at this time. Well, residents will still need to come here to the fire department to fill up at the water buffaloes or grab some bottles of water because a partial water restriction is still in effect. There are telltale signs these accidents are happening. Tire marks on the island itself, across the street, police tape on a telephone pole. Well, the couple that lives in this house behind me, they were kind enough to let us hang out in their driveway, which earlier today was covered with these fallen tree branches. Now, all throughout the afternoon, we heard this crackling sound all around us of more tree branches falling, some of them that knocked out power to this entire road. Well, Peggy, things look much different behind this church now after we started asking questions about a week ago. There's no longer water running down this street. And you know what? This backhoe is here because a plumber is making repairs for free.
Hallelujah anyhow.
Pastor Frank Tillman Jr. is delighted about repairs to this water main break that caused flooding to his church basement last week.
This water is about 7 inches deep.
It's being repaired for free by a local plumber.
They drove around the church several times trying to find where I was at. He went to one of our neighbors and asked, do they have my phone number, which he did. Gave me a call at home. He said to come in here and do it.
The Pittsburgh Water and Sewer Authority also lent a hand when it came to that valve that broke and was gushing water that we reported on last week.
They were able to help us out. But just the parts alone are pretty expensive.
As for the fees the church needed to pay up front, several anonymous donors came forward to help shoulder the thousands of dollars in costs.
Which is a great relief.
A blessing that allows Pastor Tillman to put his complete focus on serving the community.
God's army does not stop just because of a tragedy or attack.
And the guys from Terry's Plumbing say that this mess should be cleared up by tomorrow, and that water main break, a distant memory. Reporting live tonight from Marshall Shadlin, Erin Clarke, Channel 11 News. Yeah, that's right, David. We spoke to the man who owns this property behind me, and he got right on it. Asked a crew to come out here and start working on this road. They've been out here all day long. People's Gas just showed up. It's quite a job being done to repair this road and get those businesses back up and running. No way in or out of Williams Drive off Gudakuntz Road just outside of Zelienople. Heavy rain Tuesday night caused a small creek to swell.
It was just a lot of water last night.
And break apart the private road that leads to 6 businesses, including Ritter Technology.
So much water came down, it just took everything out.
These huge pipes here allow water to flow through underneath the road. But the current from yesterday's storm was so strong that it washed away the fill that keeps the pipes put and even broke one apart. Todd Williams and his family own the property. He thinks the road washed out overnight. Now he has a crew out working to repair the damage.
There was 2 pipes under the road. We're actually going to put a 3rd pipe in there to take on the amount of water that is coming down from the stream. We're going to fill it with 100% riprap, and we're going to concrete it in, put an end wall in.
They estimate reinforcing the road will take a few days and things will be back to normal on Monday, if the weather cooperates. The loss of business for his tenants aside, Williams is grateful that things weren't worse.
No one was hurt, so you can replace a bridge, but you can't replace obviously a person. So we'll move forward. Our number one goal is get our tenants back in here, and so they can do their business.
And David, back out here live, I just want to bring your attention to this huge pile of metal that I'm standing next to. These are the pipes that were underneath the road and burst apart from that debris and the water. It just goes to show you how strong the force was last night. Reporting live tonight from Zelienople, Erin Clarke, Channel 11 News. 6 months to the day that a man walked into the Tree of Life synagogue and gunned down 11 people, the Jewish community is grappling with another tragedy so very similar.
When I heard this afternoon, it was like I was punched in the gut.
This time, a gunman killed one woman and injured others, including a rabbi at a synagogue in Poway, California, a city not far from San Diego.
It's so painful to think that another community is having to go through what we went through just 6 months ago, and that this just seems to not be ending.
Yet through their pain, Pittsburgh's Jewish community came out to the very place where tragedy struck here to stand in solidarity with Poway. In the rain, they stood huddled together in front of Tree of Life for a vigil and to denounce hate. Mayor Peduto says that is the very power that we have to prevent tragedies like this.
It starts when we accept hate speech, and not just on the internet, but when somebody's at work or you hear somebody saying something, hate against any person for who they are, and then it leads to hate acts. And it has become far too common, and we have to be able to talk about this and to be able to change it. The only way that you change something is by making change happen.
And tonight at the vigil, Mayor Peduto told me that he reached directly out to the mayor of Poway and told him that Pittsburgh stands with that city. Reporting from Squirrel Hill, Erin Clarke, Channel 11 News.